Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2026, and with this new year comes a whole new list of ups and downs that we get to explore, both individually and together. So, with that being said, I can't wait to get started, and I hope you can't wait either as we get into these posters. To start, I actually want to show some stuff that I got for Christmas. I got one of these little mini Neewer lights, and this is pretty much just going to be a fill light for when I do stuff, not during the daytime. Um, there's the focus. And I also happened to get a new controller for Switch gaming. And then I also, not really Christmas related, but I happened to get this cool ass Charizard card. It's part of their UPC, it's part of the promo, but up top, I don't know if that was really visible. There's that crimping, but other than that, it is damn near a perfect card. And I think, at least, grading it is super goddamn expensive, so I probably won't do that. But I think if I floated around with some prices, I might be able to get a really good price for it. That's only if the price is at a point where it'd be kind of be worth it. But if it's just like, oh, I'll give you $100 for it, I'm just gonna be like, meh, I'll just keep it. Because there was a card I had a couple months ago that was part of the One Piece, I believe, 10 or 11 set. And it was the Gear 4 Luffy with the manga background, and that went for $450 at like a PSA graded level. And I was able to sell it raw for $400 and took home $350 of that. And that was kind of worth it. I having a raw ungraded card to just sell for that much was insane for me. Anyway, I've been yapping for too long. Let's just start looking at the posters. So to start, here we have our questions poster. And it says who through pretty much most of it, but we also have what, where, when, why, and I believe how. Just everything is available in here. These very basic three colors. We have the white to have that questions as to match that background to be kind of a negative space. We have the black as our main focus, and then the deeper red as our kind of backdrop there. And it kind of creates another visual illusion like we saw in year one with my crown poster that I did. Just kind of confusing your eyes a little bit, making you kind of search for what might be different. And you can see probably the most prominent one in black up front here being that what line, just because the W and the O are kind of shoved off a little bit to the sides. And then you can also notice the same thing down here with when. But then we have where in the background there. I kind of forget where how is. How might be a little bit of a scavenger hunt. So if you see it, let me know. I found why. Coming back to this, obviously a year later, I have to remember where I put everything, and it's a little difficult. Okay, I genuinely just did a full scan of the poster, and I can't find how. So please let me know where you see it, and I'll come back and, I'll see if you're right or if you're delusional. Anyway, this is going to be the first poster today. This comes from our very similar inspiration piece, being from this Visions poster, and I wanted to have this exact illusion kind of go on here because I thought that was a super cool thing to have. And using my questions, being hypnotized here, coming into this, I didn't really know what word would be really good to repeat over and over and over to have an illusion. So when I started writing who, I was just like, what do? I don't know what to do. And I was like, I could just make it about different types of questions. And I guess the core questions would be who, what, where, when, why, and how. So yeah, deciding to use this inspiration piece to then influence the main piece here, I was able to create the final product. I ended up liking this one. although it's not my favorite, I would still like love to print this out and hang it up and see people kind of go up to it and be able to pick out the different questions that would stand out to them, because it kind of is a fun little exploration piece kind of thing. But yeah, that's going to be our first poster. We're just going to go right into the second. All right, here we have our second poster today. Now, this is one, I'm going to be honest, that I ended up really just not being happy with at the end of the day. The only part I really came away happy with this is the like non-perfect colors within the lines, but we do have kind of what I called this poster picture pose, as if you be in like a nice outfit and strike a pose for like the mirror and like taking a picture of yourself, that kind of thing. But I remember this day just being super rushed and eventually just not enjoying the final result. But it is what it is, and looking at our inspiration piece, it came from this man already looking at some pictures, and I already did this in year one. If you don't remember, in my art is subjective poster, I kind of already had something where someone was looking at a piece of art. So in this, I wanted to just take that picture that would be hanging on the wall and kind of using that frame to create a new piece for myself. And this is another one where I just hand drew everything to mostly my liking. Obviously, like I said, this ended up being something where I wasn't truthfully happy with it, but it is what ended off those 24 hours. So this is what I got, being a picture pose. This did teach me something about like being able to maybe have an idea coming into it, or being able to actually like write down notes for myself for some posters that I might not know exactly what I want to do with. But like I said in the beginning, coming into this and being able to learn something mostly about the non-perfect colors in these non-perfect lines, I wanted to be able to use that again, and I think I did, if I'm remembering correctly, in a later poster, if not in year 3. But yeah, this is going to be our second poster. Not the strongest, but hopefully we can finish off strong here with our third one. Ah, yes, I remember this poster. This is easily one of my favorite posters of year 2. And it's from Kendrick Lamar's song Euphoria. It's always been about love and hate, that single line. And this I made in August, so it was just a couple months after that whole Kendrick and Drake beef that happened. Now, of course, I just thought it was overall just a pretty great song, and this coming from our inspiration piece being Slippin' Around on the Road with Brad Pitt. If you look, reading up Brad and then Pitt. And this says by Chris Mundi. Taking that from this book that I found, I thought that'd be a really fun piece to kind of emulate, and I believe I was able to do it quite well here with It's Always Been About Love and Hate. And coming into this, not really knowing what I wanted to do, but having this song literally come onto my Spotify recommended, and then being like, oh yeah, I think I can do something with that, because having the 2 4-letter words like from Brad Pitt, we have love and hate, and being able to intermingle both of these in a way that I thought came out really well, kind of trying to do the same thing that was from the inspiration piece and intertwine these 2 words like kind of like weaving a basket almost. I believe I was able to accomplish everything that I wanted to. And using the same colors that were from the inspiration piece, that red, brown, yellow, and purple, and then having the black being in the background. And then from that, having Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar at the bottom, just so you can also get where it's coming from if you were to go listen to the song yourself, for those who haven't. But it was everywhere on the internet, so I'm sure most people have. That all being said, this ended up being one of my favorite posters from year 2. Definitely like top, maybe top 7, I would say. And it's not 7, but it can definitely float within that 7th spot, because coming off of these, I definitely have like a few favorite posters that I'm very happy with, and this was definitely one of them from year 2. But that is going to be all of the posters from the second year. I hope you enjoyed, well, at least 2 of them, because again, that second one there, I wasn't the most happy with. But if you liked it, you can let me know, and if you liked any other posters, please let me know down in the comments. And of course, if you could like the video, that would help greatly. And most importantly, if you could subscribe to the channel. I know that every other YouTuber probably asks you, but as someone who's new here, please help me out by subscribing, because that would help me tremendously. Anyway, that's pretty much gonna be it. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and have an even better New Year. But yeah, that's all. Love yous. Bye-bye.